Litecoin holders are in for a big surprise. What if I told you that this altcoin, which almost everyone has written off, is about to really surprise us? Most people consider Litecoin to be old, boring, and outdated, but they overlook what is happening in the background. My analysis shows that Litecoin is underestimated. Low fees, fast transactions, increasing adoption. And now there's an event that could catapult the project back into the spotlight. Stay tuned until the end and I'll show you why. According to my 10x formula, Litecoin is currently much stronger than it appears, and what that could mean for you. This altcoin beats Bitcoin in terms of speed and no one notices. This is Litecoin or LTC. This blockchain processes payments in 2.5 minutes for almost nothing, ideal for purchases or transfers. Its script technology ensures fairer mining than Bitcoin. Thanks to strong tokenomics and a solid roadmap, Litecoin has potential. With a low market capitalization, it is a mid-cap gem already used by over 2,000 merchants. 90% of the tokens are already in circulation. Hardly any dilution, ETF rumors, and Charlie Lee on the team. Why Litecoin could be a hidden opportunity? All of this in my full analysis. Let's first look at the market capitalization. Litecoin is already a mid-cap altcoin. How much potential does Litecoin still have? We will cover this in this full analysis. Of course, it doesn't have as much massive growth as, for example, low-cap altcoins. Nevertheless, it has solid potential. 6. What is the circulating supply? Over 90% is already in circulation. That is extremely positive. Here, a strong 9. What is the roadmap for Litecoin? The Litecoin Foundation focuses primarily on privacy, but also on scalability and, of course, mass adoption by merchants. A strong 7. How strong is the Litecoin team? Everyone knows Charlie Lee, of course. A prominent figure in the crypto space. He was a Google engineer. Additionally, he is with a strong team in the Litecoin Foundation. All in all, a strong 8. What narrative does Litecoin actually serve? Litecoin positions itself as silver compared to, for example, Bitcoin, where it is always said that Bitcoin is the gold. They focus on fast, low-cost transactions. But the competition is tough, and there are many who ultimately have this narrative as well. In this area, a solid 6. What problem does Litecoin actually solve? Ultimately, that transactions are sometimes slow and expensive. Here, Litecoin is very fast and very cheap, making it ideal for merchants. In this area, a solid 7. How about the sustainability of Litecoin? They are moderately positioned here. Compared to proof of stake blockchains, they are not energy efficient, therefore only a 5. Then they have strong investors. What about Litecoin's capital? They don't have massively large capital backers here. They are open source. They have the Litecoin Foundation, which of course has capital. It is a non-profit organization. All in all, they are solidly positioned through donations and so on. Then, who are Litecoin's competitors? Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar Lumen, Ripple, and of course, for example, Solana. They have been on the market for a long time, but they face massive competition. That definitely makes it difficult. By the way, I have already analyzed all coins like Solana, XRP, or Stellar Lumens. I will put the analysis in the comments. Otherwise, you can also find analyses on my channel page. Feel free to search there and discover what other altcoins I have analyzed. Here, definitely only 6 because the competition is very strong. How strong is Litecoin now in marketing? The Litecoin Foundation promotes Litecoin, for example, on social media. When the meme coin hype was happening, they jokingly said that Litecoin is now a meme coin. So they are solidly positioned in marketing. 7. How simple is the idea of Litecoin? Ultimately, they want to be a faster and cheaper alternative to Bitcoin. Whether they are is another question. In any case, the concept is very easy for everyone to understand. Long-term vision of Litecoin. They want to be the leader in the digital payments sector with enhanced privacy and global mass adoption by merchants. They have a clear vision here, but the practical implementation remains to be seen. They are lagging behind in that regard. That's why only 6. Then, how is the coin deflationary? Then max supply. They have a hard cap here, which is positive, and a halving cycle every 4 years like Bitcoin. That's why a strong 9 here. Fully improved market capitalization of Litecoin? Positive, no overvaluation, 9. Liquidity of Litecoin? Very liquid, 9. Token distribution. How was it at the beginning? Was it fair? 500,000. Effectively, Litecoin was premined by Charlie Lee and early developers. But they had lockup periods of almost over 13 years, which is positive. In this area, therefore, a strong 8. Top coin holders. Do you have many top coin holders? The top 10 wallets hold 25 to 30%. That is relatively a lot, but as already mentioned, the lockup period is extremely long. In this area, a solid 7. Then what is the actual utility of the Litecoin token, TKLCT? Payments, store of value, and privacy. All in all, a strong utility. Nevertheless, there are altcoins that have more utility and are especially more used in the real world. 7. Community. How strong is the Litecoin community? They have a strong and loyal community. In this area, a strong 8. What events are coming up this year? Possibly an ETF. For Litecoin, extremely wild. That could of course cause the inflows to shoot up massively. Then further privacy updates and more handler upgrades. All in all, a strong 8. And then we come to the conclusion. After this analysis, it is clear to me that Litecoin is massively underestimated. The market only sees an old coin, but the fundamentals tell a different story. Litecoin has a stable community, extremely low transaction costs, a limited maximum supply, and has gained significant relevance again with the last halving. The tokenomics are solid, the network is actively used, but the competition is high. For me, Litecoin is a clear candidate for sustainable growth and a perfect example of a solid mid-cap altcoin, especially when the market turns around again. But the potential is of course not as extremely massive as it is sometimes with low-cap altcoins. Before we get to price scenarios, do you have Litecoin in your portfolio? Do you find Litecoin interesting? Feel free to write it in the comments. I would be interested in your opinion. If the entire crypto market grows massively and the Federal Reserve pumps more money into the market again, Litecoin could be worth between $100 and $1,400 US. But beware, this is not financial advice, just a purely mathematical calculation. Now that you know the potential of Litecoin, I will link you to another altcoin analysis above, which also has massive potential. Why this altcoin could turn the entire crypto world upside down. All of that in the complete analysis, including price scenarios. Have fun, and then we'll see each other in the next video.